Hey everybody, Rick here from Save vs. BS. Now, the first game I ever ran, it wasn't planned the way it happened. It was supposed to be 4 people, Steve, Glenn, Donald, and me. I was probably 12, 13 years old. I had snacks laid out. I had done a ton of prep. I drew maps. I had the whole adventure noted, and it was a pre-pub, but nonetheless, it was the wererat lair. You were supposed to go in, kill the king of the wererats, take his throne, and then you lift the curse from the land. The classic stuff. You know, it's like the idea if you kill the original, all the cursed people will turn back into human form. But Steve and Glenn got in trouble. I don't remember exactly what for, something dumb. I wish I could remember. That would really complete this story. But Donald was my buddy from the next town over, and he was the only one who showed up that night. Now, Donald wasn't really a D&D kid. I think he was skeptical, and I really don't think he'd actually played before. But we had all this food and nowhere to be, so we went upstairs to my room. And I remember this vividly. I wish I had pictures. I had this little round table. It's definitely not big enough for 4 adults, but for 4 young teenagers, it was perfect. Donald sat straight across from me. I had my brand new DM screen set up, you know, because I thought I was supposed to have a DM screen, even though I had no clue what I was doing. And we just started. It was summertime, sometime after sunset, dice in hand, snack trays. We dove into the wererat lair together. And I basically made it up as I went along. I had dice rolls I didn't know how to calculate, rules that I only half understood. I made things up to react to whatever Donald did. And the next thing we knew, it was morning. He killed the wererat king. The land was freed. We'd stayed up all night playing Dungeons and Dragons. Just me and him and a bunch of pigs in a blanket. I didn't know it at the time, but that night would end up shaping how I run games for the rest of my life. And now, 40-ish years later, I still think about that game. Not because it was perfect, but absolutely because it was not perfect. Looking back on that night, it taught me a lot of things. The rules aren't sacred. I look back on that night, I don't think I followed a single rule correctly. I made up some monster stats, I fudged rolls, and I winged entire mechanics. But the game worked because the tension was real. The moments carried weight, and Donald believed in what was happening. And that's the secret. It's not about mastery, it's about presence. If the rules help, great. If they don't, drop them. Players never do what you expect. I thought Donald was gonna storm the throne, give some heroic speech, cut the wererat's head off, and we'd be done in an hour. But instead, he crept through tunnels, he interrogated rat people, and nearly drowned in a sewer fight that I completely improvised. And I had to keep up. And that's when I learned, you don't direct this game, the game sort of directs you. You respond to it. Your players are gonna break your outline every time, and that's not a problem. It's the point. That night was supposed to be a 4-player session, but only Donald showed up. And it ended up being better than most full party games I've ever ran because we both cared. We were both in it. And that's all you need. You don't need 5 players and the perfect lighting and a dramatic soundtrack. You need one person who gives a damn and one person willing to run the game. That's a table. I thought I was prepared, but then I wasn't because it was only 1 player. I made every mistake in the book, but I stayed in the moment. I kept the energy moving. I cared, and that was really enough. And to this day, I'd rather play at a table run by someone who's passionate and clumsy than by someone who is polished but disconnected. You don't need to be slick, you need to be real. That table is long gone. The notebook, long gone. It all burned in a house fire a few years later. But that adventure, that night, that feeling, that is still with me, and I carry that into every session I run. That's why my dungeon mastery mantra is simple. It's fast. get to the action, and leave every rule at the door. That night didn't just make me a dungeon master, it made me the kind of DM I still want to be. I'm still chasing that kid who was the dungeon master that night. If you're sitting there worried that you're not ready to run your game, if you're nervous you'll screw it up, you probably will. And that's the good. That's how it works. Every great table starts with a mess. So sit down, roll some dice, and let the story surprise you. Because one day you'll look back on that first session and realize it gave you everything you needed. I'm Rick. This is Save versus BS. And if nobody's told you yet, you're doing fine. Keep rolling high, keep putting in the games, do the thing. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and I'll see you in the dark.